Hello the internet! It is Thursday the 9th of January 2025 and welcome back to the channel. And welcome back to Crookhaven Heads for a beverage review in the great Aussie outdoors. You know, a little while ago we reviewed Jack Daniels and Coca-Cola Premix. We reviewed the Japanese import. We're still waiting on those to arrive here in Australia. There's no word on when that's going to happen, if it's even going to happen. But what I do have in place is Jack Daniels and Coca-Cola Premix Zero Sugar. For those of you that might be watching your figure, might be concerned about the post-Christmas bulge, this one could be your go-to. I'm going to put you yahoos down here. Is that nice and level? Jack Daniels, Coca-Cola Premix from Japan, Zero Sugar. Cheers. Ha, interesting. Yeah. Wow, that's Coca-Cola. I haven't had zero sugar Coca-Cola for a long while. It's got that artificial sweetener. You can really hit that. You can tell there's no sugar in this, and there's this, it's almost like a metallic-y flavored sweetener. Yeah, interesting. Couple of key notes here to hit before we compare. And what are we going to compare to? Wait and see. So last time on the Jack and Coca-Cola regular from Japan, I explained how all the Japanese writing and what it all translated to. I'm obviously not going to do that again this time. The key takeaways today is that this is the same 7% alcohol by volume. If we were to receive this in Australia, ours would be the 4.8, possibly 4.9. Lousiness, but so this is 7% by volume, smaller can, 330 ml. I think the very first thing we should do in terms of comparison is compare this to full sugar Japanese import. Oh, what do you know? I've got one right here. And again, doesn't sound very bubbly, doesn't sound very carbonated. This one is way more fizzy. This is flat as anything. I think either I got sent old stock or this got shook up like crazy on the in transit across the seas. This one here's got fizz to it. This one's way tastier, way tastier. However, there is a big but. There's a massive but here. This product is sans caffeine. No caffeine. Zero sugar, zero caffeine. This product here, regulation sugar, no caffeine. That's particularly strange, the zero caffeine, because all of our premixes have caffeine, including the only thing we could legitimately compare this to in this country would be zero sugar Cola Premix. This is not Coca-Cola. This is a generic mix of cola, sugar syrup. This is the recipe made famous by the Coca-Cola company. This one has no caffeine. This one has caffeine. This one has no sugar. This one has no sugar. How does it taste? Awful. Yuck. Metallic-y, awful. If it wasn't already bad enough with the lousy cola, this no sugar stuff, this weird, it's just, that is awful. That is disgusting. That is better, but it's only better because it's not awful. That doesn't make much sense. So, if we were to really want to compare this, last time we did it with this guy, we ran into an issue because of the zero caffeine thing. And I was telling you how it's extremely rare to find a bottle of Coke, a bottle of Coca-Cola, that is full strength with no caffeine. And when I say full strength, I mean full sugar. They do make them, very limited. And here in this big brown country, we don't get them. We don't have this. You can't find Coca-Cola with sugar sans caffeine. You seem to only be able to find Coca-Cola zero sugar, zero caffeine. That's the big seller in terms of the health conscious Coca-Cola consumer. That was the problem with this review. However, for this review, this has zero sugar and we already know it has zero caffeine. So effectively, we should be able to pour a mix with this, and it should theoretically taste identical to this. This is Coca-Cola sans sugar, sans caffeine. This is Jack Daniels mixed with Coca-Cola sans caffeine, sans sugar. should be the same thing. Last time we did this, there was some confusion about whether I mixed the appropriate amounts correctly. I'm gonna ignore all of your comments. All I can do to all I could do to ensure that I'm making the closest mix, the closest proportional mix, is to ask the ChatGPT machine. If I'm gonna make a mix and it's gonna be 7% Jack Daniels and the Jack Daniels size is gonna be 15 mils, how much cola needs to go mixed in with it? How much Coca-Cola needs to be mixed in there? Now you guys all flamed me and said, well, Jack Daniels isn't 100% alcohol, so if you're mixing 7%, you should be trying to work that out first. No. I'm taking the whiskey as it comes off the shelf. This whiskey is what I'm almost 100% positive they put in here. They don't take the raw 100% spirit. They take Jack Daniels and they mix it at the volume of 7% with Coca-Cola. So that's what I'm doing. To make a mix of 7% Jack Daniels, where the volume is going to have to fit into a glass, 250 mils, we're solving for V. We know how much Jack we're pouring a 15 mil shot. How much Coke needs to go into that? The equation works out to be about 199.5 mil, which turns out to be one of these 15 mil Jack, six and a half or 6 of these and 1 of these of Coke. That's as good as we're gonna get. So calm down, and I don't want to hear it about any other calculations. Hey, I asked ChatGPT, how often is it wrong? Never. Excuse me. Actually, you know what? Excuse me while I go full strength, guy. When I say full strength, I mean Coca-Cola. But it's not, is it? It's caffeine-free. By the way, what is with that? Can someone, hey, you Americans, you guys have had this forever in America. Can you check, is your one without caffeine as well, or is it just the Japanese one? The Japanese one sans caffeine. I'd like to know that. By the way, to do this, I'm gonna need to glass up here. All right, so we are gonna need 1 measure of 15 mils of Jack Daniel. Dude, forget all these. If you're gonna mix Jack and Coke, just go and get a bottle. Go and get a bottle, and get a real bottle of Coke too. But for the sake of this review, rewind. 15 mils of Jack Daniels. Now we're gonna take 6 and a half or 6 and 1 of the Coke. So here comes the first measure of Coke. 1, 2 skins, 3 skins, 4 skins, 5 skins, 6 skins, and now the half measure, 6 and a half skins. Whoops, whoops. That's close enough for the sake of this argument. I can already hear the comments, I can already see the comments, I can already feel the comments. A couple of ice cubes. Now, in this glass, in theory, this here is the same thing as this. It's Jack Daniel's Tennessee whiskey from the bottle. It's mixed with Coca-Cola from the manufacturer. The Coca-Cola has no caffeine and no sugar. That's what this is, that's what that is. This should taste exactly the same. It does not. It does not. Not even close. Wow. What the crikey? This thing, there is a very, very strange Metallica. I'm trying not to say the band name, right? There's something about this does not work. What is going on? Where's another glass? Here's a glass. Big cube of ice. This is the same thing. It should be identical. In the left-hand glass. Oh shit. Ah! That's your can. This is the one I mixed. They look the same. They look pretty much identical. Ah! It's got this weird aftertaste. What do you reckon that is? I mean, in all things being equal, I've done the exact comparison here. Is it possible that there's different varieties of Coca-Cola? Does this change as it moves across the planet? It says here, made in Australia from imported and local ingredients. So the Coke is the same. It's a moth. Get off. It's Coca-Cola, man. There is another piece of English on here. I didn't notice this before. It's different to the sugar can. It says Coca-Cola Zero Sugar contributes 0 calories and 0 sugar. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to say. I mean, I don't care. Like, I genuinely don't care, because I'm not, well, it doesn't appear as though Australia is going to get this product. So it doesn't really matter. But I guess for the sake of a YouTube review, it's interesting to be able to kind of get to this point where you're like, you know, you've got the official product, you've got this tamed down Australian version of weird cola, then you've got like a guy who's just made the thing, and now I'm trying to like justify or compare which one's gonna be better than the other one. And I mean, it comes down to doing it yourself, really, if you really want that. But then again, the idea of these, and this is why it's weird that we haven't got them yet, because I hit this in the other video as well, but I'll tap into it briefly. Australia is like the largest market for ready-to-drink premixes. We're the king of that stuff. Like, it's just the weather and the beaches and all the outdoor activities. Australia, it's the simplicity of being able to drive. You know, we can drive into liquor stores, we can drive in and we can pick up what we want and drive out. And I don't know, it might sound weird to other people, but we don't drink and drive, but we can drive in, we can get what we want, we can go to the beach. I mean, there's laws about drinking on the beach, etc. But what I'm saying is, we're the biggest market for premixes, yet we haven't got the biggest one out there. Like Jack Daniels and Coke, like, Jack and Coke's been a thing forever, right? And the premixes, the cola ones, they've been around for donkey's years. We buy them, right? They test this shit down here. Like, we have all these weird and wonderful Jack Daniels premixes. We just haven't got the big one. Like, I don't get why. But having tasted it, having tasted the Japanese one, and having tasted the Japanese no sugar one, I gotta be honest, I don't like them. I wanted to like these, but I don't like them. Something about it, I'm gonna conclude this here, and I'm gonna say, I'm gonna make a plea. I'm gonna make a plea to Jack Daniels Australia. How's this even gonna work? They don't listen to me. I'm a nobody. You know, there was a time when I was on the flow from Jack Daniels. That's dried up. It's funny, the person who was hooking me up, she moved on, and the new person just went, not gonna give this guy anything. So therefore, I'm not gonna make a plea. Don't listen to me, I'm a nobody. But if you like my content, you can like, share, and subscribe. Should I cheers with those two though? I guess I'll see you on the next time I upload. I'm gonna add some more Jack to this though.